My ring finger is, I'll say about 90 to 95% recovered. So I'll try not to use a strap, but if I feel it's giving me a little bit of a hindrance, I will use a strap. I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I'm pretty sure I have done this before, using pull-up as a warm-up, but because last time it kind of take a lot of my energy right from the start, so my subsequent exercises it won't be as effective, or I can't lift as heavy. So, but I want to try something a little bit different. I want to, like, in a way, really get the blood flowing into it, just get it pumped, tire it out a little bit, because I think my back is one of my stronger feature, and I really enjoy training back a lot with high intensity and everything. So I wouldn't see this as a problem if I were to try to do this new, just just try it out. So I won't call it a program or anything. I'm not really following any program. But yeah, but I'm still gonna put some chalk, cause I oiled my setup about a few days ago, so it's still really kind of smooth, and I just want to have a much better grip. For my pull-up, I'm not really looking at form. I'm looking more of, make sure I'm looking more towards controlling the technique, instead of like making sure my form is all straight, make sure I'm using the muscle properly. Now, I just want to make sure I'm not really swinging too much, and that I'm really using the correct muscle. I'm not looking at chin over bar, because I don't need it to be chin over bar. You can somewhat count this as a half rep, but as long as I'm activating my back, I think that's the end goal, or the main goal for this warm-up set. I prefer it if my bar was a little bit slanted right over here instead of at the end here, because I do actually prefer a bit of a slanted grip, or rather, how I like to grip is two finger on the straight side, and then my ring and pinky on the curvature. I just find like the most optimal way for me to grab it. If I grab it too far wide, it's gonna be a wide grip pull up, and I'm not that strong. I'm not strong enough for it. So I just like to grip at a curvature to find like an equal balance. Because if I grip it too far, it's also like, I don't know. Okay, so I think one more set, and we can try to proceed on with deadlift. Hopefully a little bit of a row, barbell row, and some lats pull down. Yeah, I'm going to try to utilize this setup for this session, I won't be going down. You know, make use of the value of it. Ooh, I kind of went a bit too hard on the first one. Okay, I'll say I'm pretty warm. So let's proceed. I hope the camera angle is okay. My lower back is still kind of affected from squats from last time, so let's try not to overstress it too much. Should I try 2 prongs instead of 1? I can. Doesn't feel as tight. Have I slimmed down? I have no idea. Now it's kind of tighter to wear the belt. I guess it was the angle. Well, I'll need to adjust the angle of this later. I'm still trying to find the proper height to wear the belt. Going down is still a little bit painful, uncomfortable, because it's kind of pinching my fats at the bottom. Maybe I should try with the other belt that is deemed to be not so effective, but at the same time, it kind of does support my lower back a lot more. So, alright. So while I was loading up 100, and I tried to kind of jerk it a little bit, and my ring finger basically said, nope, use a lifting strap. So I'm going to use a lifting strap. And 1 prong. I think that's pretty decent. You know, I'm just gonna go for a bit more. Just readjust my belt a little bit. the belt is like useful at the same time not. It's like too loose, but tight enough. I don't know. That's why I don't really use this belt that much or that often. You know, half of me is wanting to not use the belt. The other half is saying, no, you should get used to the belt. So, kind of cut in the middle. I'm going to use 2-prong for this one. Hopefully it helps a little bit. Hopefully I get used to it more. Sometimes I feel like getting the hook grip, or the figure 8 straps. But I guess, you know, old school lifting strap really calls out to me. I'm going to try a bit of wider grip. I lost count. How many did I do? It's okay. Anyway, I kind of plan on spamming this, so I actually, you know, I actually can't spam this. Maybe I'll do one more, and then I'll do rows. It's been a long time since I did rows. While I'm resting, I thought I'll talk a little bit more about deadlifts. So deadlift is definitely one of the exercises that target almost the entire body. If not, it actually does target the entire body. And I used to do it as a form of like cardio in a sense, instead of like, what do you call it, circuit training. Yeah, I used to do circuit training, and deadlift would be one of my activities, or one of the stations that I incorporated. For those who wants to get started on deadlift, something that I wish you guys would do before you actually do your first deadlift is, because most of the deadlift, due to the radius of the plate, the bar actually starts at your shin area. And for those who actually want to try deadlifting, don't start with just the bar. Like, what I mean by that is, because the bar will be very close to the floor, so instead of getting into the proper position, you're actually more lean forward because you're grabbing onto the bar. And that will give you a very bad first impression. So it's good to set the barbell. If you want to do barbell deadlift with, like, as in just the bar alone, it's good to give yourself a gauge around the bottom of your calves, or like the middle of your shin. That's where the barbell should be. So if it's not there at the starting position, go ahead and find yourself a rack. Set up the arms to that level and set the bar there. So this way the bar actually starts at a more appropriate level, and you can grab the bar much better with a better form, so that this way you're like, oh, so it's actually like this, instead of, you know, like this, where you're more caved in, you're more curled up. So one thing first is the height of the bar at a starting position. Make sure it's set up properly so that you can get used to the motion. Secondly, I really suggest a little bit to train a little bit of your body first before you actually start deadlifting. What I mean by that is, if you really want like a very good head start, train your leg and your back separately, so that you don't really go to like you don't. I don't really know whether I'm phrasing it correctly or I'm even giving out the proper tip and advices, but I just feel like, in my opinion, I rather you start with rack pull first. So because at the bottom, when you're pulling the bar up to your knee, up to your thigh, it's really just like a lot of leg work. And then the back work comes at a later stage. So some people may feel a lot stronger with their legs, and they manage to pull it up here with the leg driving force. But when they reach here, they kind of just get stuck, and it may cause some injury. So I suggest you kind of set up your bar a little bit higher as well. So like you start over here, so that when you pull, it's mostly your back. So this way, it's like you're training your back first. Then do some squats to train your legs. Then once you feel a little bit more confident, go ahead and try the deadlift. I mean, there's really no right or wrong way. For my opinion on the second one, you don't really need to do it. If you feel like you just want to straight away start off with deadlift, by all means, go for it. Just know that you may not be as strong as you assume you would be, or it may feel completely different. And of course, I suggest if you are a beginner or you just started lifting, do not get the belt yet. Do not purchase the belt. Do not get used to the belt, because it's more of a accessory. You don't really need it in your starting phase. Like I said, it's mainly to get used to the motion. When you first start deadlifting, I want your body to make sure that okay, you are deadlifting. This is the muscle that's being activated. This is the muscle that's getting sore. Blah 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 blah. I want you to kind of learn to really engage your core instead of relying on external objects or external factors to help you with deadlifting. Then once you become more, once you in a way know how to train a little bit more, you're more well educated, then do your research. See what kind of belt is good for you, what kind of form is good for you. I don't really like sumo, so I do conventional. The topic is getting out of context, but you get it. Oh wait, hold on. I kind of want to do a wider grip. Try out something a bit different. This feels weird. I honestly wasn't counting, but there was probably 6. Also, do note that for deadlifting, it is relatively, or I would say often, easy to feel very motivated and egoistic about your lifts because you are utilizing your entire body. It's only natural that you are able to lift heavier. So at the start, let's say for someone with no prior training before their first deadlift, and they manage to lift 60 and they feel relatively easy, they may just suddenly up the weight to 80, 90, and then they just go on and on and on. Some may even just jump a plate and go from 60 to 100. So don't do that, obviously. Your body is just, it's your first time. Your body is not used to it. So even if you want to increase and try how high you can go, do it gradually. When you're more experienced, then you can somewhat jump a little bit more. But if you're just starting, I'd rather you get used to the motion first. And then when you're confident that your movement is correct, then you can start trying out, try to increase your strength. Because deadlift, although it is quite, actually I don't need the belt anymore. Yeah, so although deadlift is a really good workout, it's not one to be taken lightly, as the injury is the, what do you call it, like the percentage of injury is a lot higher as compared to other exercises, because your lower back can tend to be one of the weaker or if not the weakest muscle in your body that is being utilized when you are doing deadlift. I won't say weaker, but rather the most vulnerable muscle. So yeah, if you're always unsure, it's good to do it with an experienced person, and this way you can feel more confident and comfortable. Because one of my cushions is higher than the other, so that side tend to touch the cushion first. Forgot to put on my lifting strap. I can do 60 without the strap, no problem. But yep, you know what's the issue here. I feel like I can go heavier, but should I? Maybe I'll do 70. That felt a lot heavier than usual. I guess the lower back. Or is my leg too narrow? Or try to do the other method where I'm not keeping it under tension at the bottom. I just let it rest on the mat and just pull it up. Or I can then do this and do something that's a little bit easier on my lower back, and yet yield the same result. So before we move on to bicep, I'm just gonna do maybe 2 set of rows now. And then we do some barbell bicep. Hopefully this works. The angles feel kind of off, but let's see how we can slightly better. Or is it too heavy? I think it's too heavy, but we have to commit to this weight for this set. So oops. My back's pretty tired. Last set, best set. Now, I need the straps. Whew. After months of hard work, Johnny can only afford a 0.02 meter cubic meter square apartment. So he went to buy galvanized square steel and borrowed some screws from his aunt. Got the flooring done with eco-friendly wood veneers. And now he's gonna do bicep curl. One more. Ah. Ah. Whew. I think that's pretty pumped.